This is Saturday, March 26, 2011. We're back in La Rose, Louisiana after 9 months, and we're back in Louisiana Route 1 to interview some of the people that we talked to back in June. We're at Crabs LLC, and I talked to the owner, Dennis Landry, about the impact of the BP oil spill on his business and how he's been treated by BP. So let's find out from Dennis what he's experienced.
Here we are, 11 months, almost 11-month anniversary. We got 20-something days left our next anniversary. The BP oil spill. The things we've been through, done, said that was going to be done, that was not done, then retold that they were going to do it, and then still not did it, and then they send you a $1,000 intern payment and say that we don't owe you nothing. You lost half of your gross revenue, and people are standing there still telling you it's going to be okay from the BP staff or the Feinberg, the Gulf Coast Claims Facility staff. Here we are 11 months later. We have seen very little financial stability. We've lost a good portion of our markets. When I say markets, I mean the seafood distributors, seafood purchasers, the people that purchase seafood, our good customers that used to buy seafood every week. We've lost the majority of our fishermen due to helping BP clean up the oil, due to Feinberg paying them, Gulf Coast Claims Facility, giving them large sums of money. The fishermen as an industry need to understand we need them and they need us. Yeah, it's a mutual agreement. There's no contract that says that anywhere. BP keeps telling us they're going to take care of it. They're running ads on the television, on national television. I've just come from the Boston Seafood Show. I'm sitting in the hotel room. They're running an ad about Gulf Coast seafood is fine, it's all available, but yet I'm a processing plant and I have nothing to offer. So somebody's lying. Either I'm lying, or BP's lying, or BP's running ads just to make it look all good and putting icing on the cake, but underneath is cardboard. So as a processing plant, we are talking to Feinberg, our Gulf Coast Claims Facility, for them to issue us intern payments. At a business this size, it goes beyond their rules. When I say beyond their rules, they're offering $25,000 business settlements. Once you sign that settlement, you have 3 or 4 days, you receive a check, but then you can no longer sue or pursue BP for more money. Well, in a multi-million-dollar company, a $25,000 check is like a slap in the face. And to really put icing on the cake on that, they sent me a $1,000 intern payment back in August and told me they didn't owe me any money, that all my revenue was there. And my CPA is looking at me going, exactly which books they looked at? Whose paperwork did they look at? This year I'm off almost $500,000 in gross sales. I still have mortgages. I still have light bills. I still have insurance. I still have employees. You're looking at $2,500 a month just on electric bills. I still have to run the cooler, whether I have 1 pound of crab meat in it or 800 pounds of crab meat in it. I still have to run that crab cooler. The light bill, you still have to turn it on every day, whether you need 2 employees or whether you have 20 employees, I still have to issue that, turn that light bill on and issue that check every month to pay for the electric bill. My mortgages, I still have a mortgage every month. Whether they like it or not, whether I like it or not, I borrowed the money and my credit was good, the bank issued me the money, I still have a mortgage every month to pay. Feinberg sends you a $1,000 check and tells you we don't owe you nothing. And I'm looking at him going, whose paperwork are we looking at? So when Ken Feinberg speaks on national TV and tells people, oh, within 7 days we'll have you intern payments. We looked at it in business people that run a business every day, educated, non-educated, multi-million-dollar businesses, small mom and pops. Everybody knows it takes more than 7 days to figure out a business plan, to figure out what your business is doing. You have to go quarterlies, you have to do monthlies, we have to pay taxes in quarterlies, and he says he's going to do it in 7 days. Well, everybody knows that can't be done. I mean, he's an attorney. He knows that can't be done. Why tell people that? Well, I'll say it like this. What world does he live in? Because in my world, that don't happen. In a book, in college, it might happen, but not in my world. In the real world, it takes time to do paperwork. It takes time to get your taxes together. It takes time. You don't call Uncle Sam 7 days before April 1st and say, oh, I have to pay taxes? That should have been going on for a year now before you have to pay Uncle Sam. So here we are, 11 months later. I've got a few dollars from BP. When Ken Feinberg took over, they sent me a $1,000 check, said they didn't owe me nothing. I went and back to Gulf Coast Cleans facility, showed them the check, and they went through my paperwork, and the guy said, well, there was a mistake on my paperwork. I said, okay, well, let's correct that mistake, and just send me some kind of compensation to keep my plant running. One of Feinberg's representatives were there. Now, Gulf Coast is a facility that they're like an agent, I guess, and then Feinberg's has people that oversee them. One of his people were there and says, oh, don't worry about it, just wait till the final claims comes up and do your final claim. Well, I'm looking at these people going, what planet did they get off of? You're telling people within 7 days they're gonna have you a check. My check shows up 3 months later, and then one of Feinberg's representatives tells me that don't worry about it, you can do this at the final claim, but then the final claim is 25 grand, but yet I'm off almost $500,000. What part they don't understand? I mean, I'm not a highly educated person, but I mean, 1 + 1 is 2. 1 + 9 is not 3, it's 10. I mean, it's very simple math. So when Feinberg gets on TV and you see people getting upset at him, some people may be exaggerating might be a little drama in there, but there's a few people in there that's pretty serious. I've seen him being threatened. I've seen legislators get on him. Somebody is holding the reins on him. He said he was independent. But this morning on TV, they just said BP gave him a raise. So I'm scratching my head now and going, okay, well, he's independent. Then how did he get a raise? If BP says he's independent and Feinberg says he's independent, then who gave him the raise? Obama? Because this is getting confusing here. Because I don't give the time saver or the convenience store a raise. I don't give their people a raise because I'm independent of them. There's the local convenience store is independent of me. I don't own the convenience store and they don't own me. They can't give my people raises and I can't give them raises. So what part does American people, and I'm talking to American people, this is America, And yeah, we do some dumb things, but we're not stupid. This guy's really making a mockery of the American public versus the American public as consumers, as U.S. citizens, and as the Gulf Coast region. This guy is really, like, he's from New York and he needs to go back to New York. Let Jindal, let our governor issue out those funds. He's straightening up the budget right now. I guarantee you, when Jindal gives you $1, it's well thought of and it's well deserved and it belongs, it's gonna go where it belongs. You have $20 billion to settle up the Gulf Coast for businesses that were damaged for the oil spill, from the oil spill. You have to compensate these people. You telling people that you're going to compensate them, you have to compensate these people. You have to tell, if you're going to say it on national TV, that you're going to send them intern payments, you're going to work with them, you're going to get their businesses as a whole. And some businesses have been done as a whole, but other ones are just left behind, and they say, well, it's a paperwork issue. They don't have the right documentation. They don't have the right, they owe taxes, whatever. My taxes are fine. My documentation is perfect. I got one of the best CPAs in this area. So I look at it like a rat in a hole. He grabbed the cheese and he went in the hole and he don't want to come back out. The cheese is still there, so he's not coming back out. They don't want you to pursue an attorney to file a lawsuit against you, against BP, Gulf Coast Claims, but it's BP. What part that they don't understand? Do they want me to sit in front of 12 jurors with a lawsuit against BP and 12 people sitting there listening to my records, listening to my paperwork, looking at what I did, look at what I did to survive this business, look what I did with money that was supposed to be invested in other parts of the company that I took it to use a survival method? Does a jury want to hear that? Does BP want a jury to hear that? So why not just ante up and just do what you're telling people? BP says Gulf Coast Claims Facility is similar to an insurance agent. Okay, no problem. I'm 100% with you. When I have damage at this plant, or a hurricane comes in and damages this plant, my insurance agent comes to me and looks at my facility and sits down with me, and we come up with a mutual agreement of how I should be compensated. Every time you want something, every time Gulf Coast Claims Facility or BP sends you a piece of paper, you have to go over there, sit in line, and the guy you're talking to, 9 out of 10, has no clue what you're talking about. So is the left hand know the right hand doing? Or they're just keeping it like that to keep everybody confused because it's like controlled chaos. Give me somebody that's going to sit down with me, talk to me, explain my situation, look at the situation and go one-on-one and say, yeah, we can do this. No, we can't do this. Yes, we can do this. No, you're not allowed to do this. This is what we need to do. We're 11 months out of this. Alaska is 20 years and they're still fighting with it. If Exxon would have just paid out everybody when they said to, they'd have saved probably $30 billion. And the money they spend in lawyers, attorneys, and judgments, and the whole 9 yards, if they'd have just paid the people out, they'd have come out cheaper. I know they want to fight you tooth and nail, but 20 years, they're still all on the ground in Alaska. There's still oil under the ground, in the beaches, under their sand. There's still oil on the ground. It's happening over here. The fishermen are trying to stand up and say, look, the oil's under the sand, we're going to dig it up. The BP rep saying, no, leave it alone and cover itself up. What it's going to do is, our estuaries are going to become smaller. So in turn, we're going to have less production. The crab is not going to live where there's oil on the bottom. It's not going to lay its eggs. It's not going to mature there. it's gonna get out of the way. So if you got X amount of square miles that's contaminated with oil on the bottom, then our estuaries have gotten smaller. So then that's gonna turn around and give us less production. And that's gonna turn around and give us less revenue. And then that's gonna turn around and our businesses are gonna fail because we can't get the production or the volume we need to sustain our business. So it's a big thing, and I'm not a scientist. I'm not a person that has a college education, but I've been doing this, working in this business for over 30 years. Yeah, I worked in the oil field. I fished crabs for a living. I was a fisherman. This is a family-owned business. It's over 30 years old. No, we haven't been to college, but I understand normal nature's way. If there's oil on the ground, you're going to walk around it. If a human person is walking on a piece of ground, and he walks up and there's a big black spot of oil on the ground, he's going to walk around it. It's very simple. I mean, it's human nature. It's an animal's not going to walk across the middle of it. Yeah, you might have, you know, every now and then you got one that walk across it. It's similar to a cat on cement. Some cats will walk across the cement, some cats will walk around the wet cement. So it's pretty simple. BP's making a mockery out of it. They're telling people what they want to hear, but they're not executing. You got multi-million-dollar businesses that are collecting 25 grand. That ain't gonna work. That's not going to help them get tourists back. Will we have a market left? Will our markets come back? Okay, I got 4 customers in Chicago. I got 2 customers in New Orleans. I got Seattle, Washington hasn't bought crabs since June of last year, hasn't purchased crabs. Are they going to buy this year? Can I call them on the phone and say, Mr. Juan, I want to send you crabs? He said, okay, send me 30 boxes. Oh, but I only have 2. Is he still going to buy from me because I don't have the production? Is he still going to acknowledge me as a customer? Or does he trust me as a customer? So where is my support from BP to say, bring your plant up to 100% production, and if you can't sell it, call us, we'll take it, we'll buy it from you, and we'll feed it to BP. They say the crab meat's good, then if I get up to maximum production and I can't sell the product, then let BP buy it from me. Here, buy it from me and sell it to your facilities. You have offshore facilities all over the world. They eat crab meat. If the crab meat's good and you say it's good, and we say it's good, but you want to support us, then support us. Come in and say, okay, I want X amount of pounds of crab meat. No problem. I'll sell it to them. Pay me on time, and we can come up with a whole different kind of agreement. But they crawled in a hole, and it's like nobody can get to them. Nobody can make it. Nobody can get in touch with them, and nobody's making decisions. Everybody went hide in the office somewhere. And we don't see our future. Where's our future? What is our future? If we could see our future, it'd be easy. We didn't ask for the oil spill. We need BP to drill in the Gulf. We need other companies to drill in the Gulf. We didn't ask for the oil spill. But there's some issues of how they tell people what they're gonna do. There's issues about lying to people. They're downright lying to people. Stop lying to people. You show the guy that's shrimping on TV. It's a big BP commercial. It's you guarding the hen house. You are not looking. Why doesn't one of those film crews that does the BP commercials, the BP rep, come to my business and show what my business is doing? Why don't they do that? I'm here. Look, I'm volunteering. Come into my business, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Why they don't do that? You think maybe because the business is suffering and I'm not getting the product I need? This is pretty heavy stuff, I guess you can call it. We as American people need to sit down or stand up and say, we got enough. As far as shrimpers, trawlers, whatever, as seafood production, as South Louisiana in whole, as in general, as a whole. BP gave $30 million to Louisiana Seafood Promotion Board. They get it in $5 million increments. They are doing an awesome job with it. It's really, really coming around. But how can I sell product to a customer in Boston when I have no product to sell them? There is a lot of issues when I say I can't receive product, when I can't receive crabs or oysters. There's a lot of issues with why am I not getting oysters? Well, some of the seasons are closed, some of the oysters are dead, some of them have contamination on them. Some of it is precautionary, but some of it is legit. Some of the oysters are just dead. They're all dead. The whole bottom, the whole bed is dead. So my wintertime production was zero. You're not getting no more production out of those. Now, whether it's the Correx that killed it, the oil killed it, we don't know. Nobody's proven it yet that exactly what happened, but it's coincidental. We just had a big oil spill, and now we got a bunch of dead oysters. It's coincidence. Let's see, we didn't have no hurricane, and we didn't have no tornado. We didn't have no chemical spill. Oh, wait, we did. We did have a Correx chemical spill. So what part does BP not understand? Yeah, we're not the smartest people in the world. We're not dumb. They're just making us look like a bunch of idiots down here. And it's like, I have no more employees. I'm running on 7 employees at this time after having 25 and 30. So which business they looking at? Because they've never come over here and interviewed me and asked me how many employees I lost. They've never come over here and said, Dennis, you getting enough crabs? Is Crabs LLC having enough production? No. I said, well, I need crab fishermen. You know, I go to BP and I say, look, I need crab fishermen. Oh, well, the crab fishermen are working on the oil spill. Well, I'm in the crab business. Crabs don't fall out of the sky. So if I don't have crab fishermen, I can't have crabs, I can't purchase crabs to sell to customers, I'm in the crab business. No crabs, no revenue. It's pretty simple. Yeah, I got a stack of paperwork this high. But basically that's what it says. No crabs, no production, no revenue. Pretty simple. So when I look at BP and I'm telling BP or I'm telling American people, sit down and really look at what's going on. We know when you tell people in America that everything's hunky-dory, I really think that BP's making more of a mockery of themselves than really helping us. People in Boston, people in Chicago, throughout the US, see those commercials, and I have customers throughout the US. I have customers in Seattle, San Diego, Nashville, Chicago, Detroit, Fort Lauderdale. I have them all over the United States. They call me up and says, man, BP I just saw a commercial with BP and they said it's already back up in business. And we're going, yeah, that's what BP's telling you. That's not what we're doing. He says, I need 10 boxes of crabs. I don't have none. So I don't know what BP's trying to get away with. I think they're lying and they're starting to believe themselves. Right now, the only thing they want to listen to, it look like anything that's got their attention is an attorney. And not the little attorney. I'm talking about the big attorney, the guy that really means business. And the little guys are getting some respect as far as attorneys, but it looks like from what we've seen, the guys that are acquiring attorneys or retaining attorneys and going after BP are getting some respect and getting some revenue generated. Yeah, you are losing a portion of it to an attorney, but I have nothing. I lost a lot, and BP's not looking like they're gonna give me anything or try to help me out or try to compensate my business. Every time I go over there, my paperwork is not quite correct. You need this, I go back, get that, I go back, well, we need this now. You go get that, you go back, oh, I need this now. With the exception of my marriage license and my dog's registration papers, I don't think I can give them any more paperwork. They had my file so screwed up. Krabs LLC, as a business with a federal ID number, had my employees' claims in it, had other people's claims in it, had other restaurants' claims in it. When that guy opened up my file and asked me who Sylvia Monez was, and I looked at him and going, who? Who Sylvia Monez is? And I looked at him and said, Sylvia Monez is one of my employees. He says, well, her file's in your Krabs LLC file. So it was like, what kind of contraption are y'all running? It's a computer. If it doesn't have the right VIN number, then it... Let me restep. This business has a federal ID number. The first thing they ask you when they go to BP, what is your federal ID number? My employee has a Social Security number as her claim number for BP, or Gulf Coast Claims Facility. So what in the hell is one of my employees' Social Security number doing in my federal tax ID number? They need to go through their computers and look and see what they actually do. I wouldn't doubt I'll find somebody else's claim in my claim when I go back. Because it happened right in front of me. I had 5 witnesses. I had two state reps from SLECA and SLBDC with me. I had my accountant, I had my wife, and I had me. And the guy right in front of me was looking at me going, uh-oh, this file's all screwed up. When it comes to insurance companies in America, quote unquote, their famous saying is, we can't find the paperwork. You talk to somebody in North Dakota that had an insurance claim because a snowplow ran into his car, and I guarantee you he walks in there and he says, oh, they lost my paperwork. Now, these are college-educated people. These are insurance, this is people that's licensed to do this job. How come these people are not responsible for what they do? How come they're not responsible for a person's livelihood? This is my livelihood. This is everything I've ever worked for is sitting right here on this piece of property. Well, over the years, I've learned one thing. A good attorney does a lot. A really nasty attorney does a whole lot. I hate attorneys with a passion, but sometimes they're the best friend in the world. I've called Gulf Coast Claim Facility. I've sat down with Gulf Coast Claim Facility. I've sat down with the supervisors at Gulf Coast Claim Facility. I've got on the phone and called Gulf Coast Claim Facility and sat down and spoke to a person on the phone and figured out they didn't know what they were talking about. So I said, well, let me talk to your supervisor. Got their supervisor on the phone, and they kind of, you could see they were bullshitting around, just playing the game, just going around in circles. And then I said, I want to talk to your supervisor. And the lady says, my supervisor is in God knows where. And I said, well, I want her on the phone. I want him on the phone. And I'll sit here for an hour and wait on him to talk to me on the phone. And the lady says, well, we really can't do that. I said, ma'am, I've got a multi-million-dollar business at stake because of the oil spill. I need to talk to somebody that can make a decision. That guy, finally, when you talk to the supervisor, he's on it. He says, yep, we're going to take care of this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this for you. Don't worry. We're working on it. We're a little behind. We got a lot of claims at one time. All that, and you get a letter 5 days later that says, well, we looked at your paperwork and we don't owe you no money. My accountant my personal bookkeeper on the premises, the one that works for me on the premises, has checked emails every day. So as far as emails, we've wrote them emails left and right. Some we've never got answered. Some we've got stupid answers. Some of them we working on it. I mean, it just, one guy seemed like he was going to help us. It really looked good. And after about sitting there for an hour and a half with him, I told myself, this ain't going nowhere. I've even had a BP or Gulf Coast Claims rep tell me real quietly, you need to go find your attorney. Now that's coming from BP's rep, because he saw the paperwork, he looked at the paperwork, and he said, they're running around with you. They're doing a runaround with you.